Welcome to the Michigan Runner Show. Join us each time as we explore the people, the places, and the events that shape our great sport.
We have here the new publisher and president, is that right, of the Detroit Free Press. His name is David Hunke.
Yes.
And you joined the Free Press, I believe, in August, is that right?
It is almost 90 days to the day, so just 3 short months.
So in the meantime, you've inherited this huge event in Detroit. What are your thoughts so far about the marathon?
Well, I'm overwhelmed, and in a little bit, when I get to tell this gathering, we got about 400 people here, what I think about it. It's stunning when you come here and see this for the first time. You cannot believe how much work probably has to go into this to make this happen, and which we'll say again to volunteers tonight. But trust me, we're going to find a way to make this one of the top 3 elite events in the United States, and that's becoming a very new goal of ours.
Well, that's exciting to hear. For years and years, this race has been known by the locals as the Freep. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's kind of a term of endearment, so we'll take that and be happy.
Well, you're absolutely right about everything that it takes to put on a marathon, and we're really happy to see it grow and happy to see that you're going to make that a goal for the newspaper. So thank you.
Well, we're delighted to be involved in this. I think it's great for Detroit. I want Michigan to be proud of it, and everybody that's here tonight.
Well, thank you so much for your support, and welcome to Michigan.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Welcome, and I hope that you enjoy the ride. I know that one of the things that you're dying to know are the results, and I left them at home. but any good race director could probably make up the numbers in her head and be pretty accurate about it. We had 13,271 participants to be exact this year. That is 28.7% above last year. Last year, I think we finished with 10,318 participants. We had 427 relay teams, 4,300 marathoners. Last year we had 4,000 marathoners, so we were up like 6.8% in the marathon. And I don't know how many of you in this room know this, but we were named this year the fastest growing marathon in the country for the past 5 consecutive years. Not by like 2 or 3%, but like a margin of 20%. So we're doing really well in Detroit. So tonight, though, is really about celebrating and giving thanks, and I couldn't think of a better way to do that than to convey a few of the hundreds of emails that we've received. The first email that I'd like to read to you is one from Bob. Bob lives in Omaha, Nebraska. I always feel compelled to tell you just how much I, and now so many of my family, appreciate the efforts of all those who are in front and behind the scenes of a great event such as the Detroit Marathon. I've been running the Detroit Marathon since 2000 and have loved every year of it. If I'm not mistaken, in 2000 we had approximately 4,000 total participants. Last year seems like 10,000 plus, and now this year 13,000 plus. What an outstanding way for all of us to tell you just how much we appreciate all those long and difficult hours spent arranging for such a massive event. Fantastic support from the cities of Detroit and Windsor, as I know can be quite a bit of overhead for their enforcement folks, with those running, crossing borders, and piling into the Lions Stadium. I chose to run this year with 2 of my sons, one in the first leg of the relay and the other in the half marathon with me, so we started together, and could not have enjoyed myself more. Our pace was slower than I would have run if I was solo, and it was difficult at times to not take off, but nothing could have been better for me in the end, as I was able to really enjoy their company. The many music stops along the way, just fantastic. Not get too stressed out with times and finish with my son in the half. I'm guessing we'll have 15,000 plus next year. That is huge and makes things all the more fun for us runners. Someday I will have to just quit and help out where needed and actually look forward to it. Again, thanks to everyone. Please pass on our thanks to all who might care See you next year. Bye. And what makes marathoners' stories so significant is this. They can do the training. They can do the long runs. They can work with themselves to know about busting through barriers. But in the end, when they're out there running, pounding the pavement, at some point they're going to say, or they're going to think, oh my gosh, I don't think I can make it. And then there you are. It happens in a glass of water or in the sound of your voice. It could be as simple as a twinkle of an eye or a thumbs up or free high fives. It can be as easy as the words on a brochure flashing hallucinations. You can do this. That keeps them going. And in the end, when they cross that finish line, their story that they tell, it's about their finish, but it's mostly about you. And that's what makes marathoning so extraordinary and so unique. I'd like to leave you with something Martin Luther King Jr. said so many years ago. Everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject or verb agree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love. So, from my heart to yours, thank you for your service to the marathon, and we all love you. Great, this is the staff. Thank you. It is an honor that I get to introduce to you our newest president and publisher of the Detroit Free Press, Mr. David Hunke.
I'm very new here, so boy, I will step back from any of the credit for what we've had a chance to do, but I do get to tell you on behalf of my Detroit Free Press colleagues that it is an absolute privilege to be associated with you in this event. I'm going to tell you why. You know, if you ever get a little bit offended by the occasional crack on The Tonight Show or the joke on ESPN about the Super Bowl being in Detroit, or one other clip that may be in a movie or something like that about your city, whether you moved here, whether you grew up here, whether your parents and grandparents raised you here, there probably isn't anything more powerful that you could be doing to turn that image around than your contribution that you make to this event. You see, at least, by the statistics we get to see, obviously at least half the people running in this, and tens of thousands of people that come to this community, in many cases are getting their very first look at Detroit. And what you're showing them is one of the classic events in this country. What people who have come around you help you do is show them a side of Detroit and this classic riverfront and these two cities that accomplish something that very other few people in this world can do, and that's this international marathon. But you send them away with the image of what is going to be a world-class city again, and give them the most upfront look at this that they could possibly have. That dispels those images, and you do, with hundreds of thousands of those impressions, more good than any advertising campaign, any Chamber of Commerce campaign, or anything else could do for this great city. And for that, you ought to give yourself quite a round of applause.